All right, and the persuasive legal defense argument that abortionists such as Dr. Dow could use would be the absence of a clear legal precedent. Right? The argument would be that there is no historical precedent of doctors being charged with murder for prescribing birth control. Courts rely on legal precedents to determine guilt. The persuasive elements would be if no court has ever ruled that these actions constitute murder, it would be legally unprecedented and difficult to justify. Sure. Okay, but that fails, and that fails because so why it fails is that the lack of precedence does not mean a new tribunal cannot establish one. So you're gonna establish a whole new tribunal just for these doctors? Well, I'm not the one that's killing a baby. I mean, I'm not killing infant children. I'm certainly not doing that. I'm sorry for my voice there. It's not me. I'm not the one that's killing babies, right? So you would have to make an entirely new tribunal. Yes, I mean that is what is required to end this lunacy, right? So many international courts were formed precisely to set legal precedents, right? So, for example, you get the various international tribunals, right? So, if a new legal framework is established, precedent is irrelevant, right? It really is irrelevant. What matters is whether the crime itself is universally recognized as evil, right? So you have the morality aspect here. Is it evil? Well, yes. I mean, you're killing a baby. I mean, you're not killing just that baby. You're killing the potential for his children and his grandchildren and the future of that lineage to exist, right? It's pretty evil. Um, And the problem really is that it doesn't prevent the ovulation. We've said that on this channel that it doesn't prevent ovulation. The birth control does not prevent ovulation at all. It just kills the baby at the early stage of implantation. Precedents in other crimes, human trafficking and slavery tribunals were formed despite there being no clear precedent in earlier centuries. So very true. So the conclusion here is that all of these defenses rely on current legal frameworks. But if a tribunal for the unborn were established, it would redefine the law to recognize the unborn as victims of mass homicide, which it certainly is. Many crimes against humanity were legal when committed, yet justice was still served retroactively. If this tribunal existed, no legal argument would stand against the weight of the moral and scientific reality that human life begins at fertilization and should be protected. All right. So here are some legal defense strategies that could be used, and it's very important that we look and examine every conceivable legal defense, and to make sure that we are prepared with the rebuttal to make sure that these abortionists are incarcerated for a period of 25 years without the eligibility for parole, and after 25 years, the parole is not guaranteed upon certain, even if they are changed. It's a change of heart and advocacy and all this stuff. Life sentence means life sentence. If the parole is not granted, they very well may die in the prison, right? So the prison is where these people belong. So this is why we need to examine the possible defense strategies that they will offer, and to um, prepare for these defense strategies. And so thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.